All right, Coach Bonfilio here with a video on our defensive positioning. Um, in our relay systems video, we talked a little bit about our positioning at second base in double play, 12 and 4 and 10 and 4. And that's what we refer to those numbers as coordinates. Okay, so you can imagine for every situation there's a coordinate. And here we have our coordinates drawn out. No one on, right-handed hitter. No one on, left-handed hitter. Man on first, right-handed hitter. Man on first, left-handed hitter. Man on second, right-handed hitter. Man on second, left-handed hitter. And, the fact of the matter is it's nice to see the coordinates as they're out, but the reality is we can't expect our players to memorize the coordinates. I know that I don't know the coordinates completely to memorization. So I certainly can't expect the players to memorize them as well. But what you do need to know is basic rules of thumb in terms of where you need to be positioned. And we're going to talk about that right now. Okay, we are going to position and reposition pitch to pitch. And there's going to be a hierarchy of 7 important things you need to consider. The most important thing is going to be left-handed hitter versus right-handed hitter. We know with the right-handed hitter up, we want to move a little bit towards the left field line, no more than 2 strides. Right-handed hitter up, move a little bit towards the right-handed, move a little bit closer to the right field line. And again, no more than 2 strides. And then from there, you can make even further adjustments. The second most important thing that we need to consider is how aggressively, how quickly opposing hitters are turning their hips. If they're turning their hips and they're turning their back foot on a pitch that's in the third quarter, especially if a pitch is on the fourth quarter, then we know we have an opportunity to get them to ground out, pull side, or even towards the middle of the field. Okay, so we have a left-handed hitter up. He's pivoting his back foot and hips aggressively on pitches that are away. The third baseman should be coming off the bag even a little bit more. Okay. So the third most important aspect is speed versus power. Speed in the box means we got to move up towards home plate, and power in the box means we got to move back towards the outfield grass. And you adjust from there. If a guy has power and he has speed, then you can't go all the way back. If he has power and he's really slow, then you can go all the way back to the grass and the second edge. So that's important to know. Fourth rule of thumb would be counts. According to count, hitters get ahead 2-0, 3-1. That's they're looking for something to drive, something to pull, and so you should make that adjustment. If they're behind in the count, 0-2, 1-2, then they're probably going to shorten up and try to put the ball in play. Okay, and so you need to not play them so heavily towards the pull side. History is the fifth one. History, you can move up a little bit more than probably most. I mean, if a guy grounds out 3 times to the right side, I think we have a pretty good understanding of what he might do the 4th time up. So, but you don't, 2 at bats isn't enough to get a good history on a guy and completely good read. So for that reason, it's 5 of 7. Number 6 would be velocity. If our pitcher has great velocity, we know that they're probably going to be trying to see the ball deep, trying to hit the ball away, trying to get a piece of the ball. Our velocity, pitcher's velocity, would be kind of overwhelming to guys When he pitches in, you can expect pop-ups and, just short jammed pop-ups. Last is, according to Spot, pitcher spotting up with good control in the outside corner is something that we certainly have to consider and can be a little bit more important if we have a pitcher that's particularly good at hitting his spots. Okay, in general, let's look over here at third base. We don't want our third baseman playing so close to the line that on a ball hit with medium exit velocity down the line, he's able to make that play. Of course, you want the third baseman to try to make that play, but when we think of it in terms of positioning, he needs to be far enough off the line where on balls that are down the line, he can't make the play. And the reason for that is simply that, less than 2%, maybe even less than 1% of all balls put in play are going down the line. And we value the more balls put in play here. All right? So get off the line. Of course, if we're playing a no doubles defense late and close, that's a little bit different. And then the guy would go deep and back here. Definitely different. And the same thing is true of our first baseman. They're well off the line. And, of course, these two dots here, they're holding the runner on, so they're close, but they're sliding off. They're shuffling off with the pitch. Excuse me. What else do we need to talk about? The arrows out here on the field indicate our deep pass. You can see the arrows coming off positions that are deep in the infield, and that's for a reason. And so when we think of deep pass, we think of deep pass with a runner on second, ball's put in play, and we're just trying to stop this guy from being able to score. So on a ball that's hit through the 5-6 gap, our shortstop really wants to be going in this direction and not this direction. His first priority is to keep the ball in the infield. Okay? If you can't make the play, if there's no play going across the diamond, we got a first and third double play opportunity. And we'll take that. Same thing really with second base. You need to be focused on where the balls are mostly hit and not being, so cognizant of going up the middle and making great plays on the run and stuff like that. It really goes back to our 21 opportunities, 21 outs philosophy. Simply put, don't try to make web gems. Simply make the plays, the routine plays. Okay? In terms of our depth, normal depth, shortstop, about 3/4 of the way up the dirt. We recognize our shortstop has the strongest arm, probably even the most accurate arm. But, hold on, excuse me. But we want our shortstops to be able to make accurate throws over first base. And particularly with shortstops who have a little bit of tail on their ball, you could imagine that for every step that the first baseman has to take to come off the bag, that ball has to be about 2 steps, closer in order to avoid that. Okay? Same thing can be said of balls in the dirt. Closer. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. Closer they are, the less likely they are to throw the ball in the dirt. When we're making throws across the diamond, we want to make sure that we're making competitive throws, not throwing the ball high. There's really no excuse for throwing the ball over the first baseman's head. Okay? Keep your balls down. Don't target his chest. In our program, we target the waist of the first baseman. And our first basemen are going to be doing a lot of pick and drills. So we have to be able to trust them. Now, do I want guys throwing the ball in the dirt across the diamond every time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But to have overthrows is really unacceptable. In terms of our a Madden shift, we'll talk about that which is our 6th depth defense. We have on the no runners on left-handed hitter. You can see this dot here is where the third baseman is positioned. He's 16 off, -2 in. We don't have any blue dots here. We have a runner here in blue. And so what we have is the Madden shift where we have a shortstop here, second baseman here, first baseman here. And we're stacking this side. And we're we're pitching the ball in on the inside corner. And we're basically challenging the left-handed hitter to pull the ball past us. Now, the reason why we value this approach so much is because typically the best hitters will be left-handed hitters. That occurs as a result of a few things in player development I won't get into. But we need to recognize that if we can change the approach of our best player, of the best players we face, then it'll lead to success for us. So you could imagine facing, let's say, a hypothetical best lefty in the league. We go to our Madden shift, and we have our lone third baseman out here. He's going to be thinking, go to the opposite field, which is fine, because now we've made him change, doing what he normally does and does well. All right, and the way that we'll pitch him is going to be inside, backdoor curveballs for strikes, or pitches that are in the other, opposing batter's box, just to show him a different pitch so he can't look and leak open with his front side on the inside pitch. Okay, and then what we'll do is maybe at bat or mid at bat, we'll switch back to a more conventional defense, and what we'll do is we'll pitch the lefty away. And the psychology behind this is when he sees us open up on the right side, he's going to be thinking pull, and he's going to be thinking, great, now I have a better opportunity of hitting pull side, and then we'll go away on him, and we'll get him to roll over. Okay, so that's the methodology behind that, and the philosophy behind that. So we talked about coordinates. We talked about adjustments pitch to pitch. Remember, left-handed batter versus right-handed batter, the aggressiveness of the hips, speed versus power, according to count, history, velocity, and the pitcher's ability to spot up. Okay, so and then we talked about not defending the lines until we're close and late. We talked about deep paths, keeping the ground balls in the infield on in the scenario where there's a runner at second. We talked about 21 opportunities, 21 outs, getting close enough to first base when you field the ball to make good, accurate throws, relying on our positioning to help us get to the spot we need to be at. We talked about no high throws, and then we talked about our Madden shift. Okay, and of course, we're talking about Joe Madden, the manager of the the Chicago Cubs, who, as the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, made this shift, or a shift similar to this, so in vogue. All right, so thanks, guys. Have an understanding where your positioning is, maybe a different position, and recognize that we're working together as a team, the pitchers with our defense, in order to have the best defense that we can have. All right? Thanks, guys. See you in the field. Go Warriors.